That John Wick universe is kicking off. I guess it wouldn't be called that because John Wick is just one person in that universe. What would it be called? The Continental Cinematic Universe? I'm sure they'll think of something. So Ballerina, I think the whole title is From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, which is very inconvenient to make that for a YouTube movie review title. Ballerina is directed by Len Wiseman, director of Underworld, Live Free or Die Hard. Stars Ana de Armas, who's been trained by the Ruska Roma as John Wick was. She's one of their operatives until she goes on her own revenge quest. Now we have a movie that's totally not John Wick, but you can see. And before we get to what you probably want to hear me talk about, the action, I will say Ballerina does take a little longer to get going, though. Well, it's easy to say that with John Wick. John Wick sequels felt like they picked up a lot faster because John Wick 1 was the setup. But John Wick 1 did have its setup. But with Ballerina, I just felt like there was more setup. You get the backstory of her father was killed, then she gets trained, you see the training, then she's an operative. Much longer before she's like, hey, I'm in revenge mode now, and now I'm gonna go off and do my own thing. I'm breaking free, I'm going rogue. But that does afford an opportunity to let the audience in on a little more of the workings of the world. That lore expansion we love from those John Wick movies. Now, not John Wick Ballerina, you get what I'm saying, but still. I liked seeing her trained to be a totally not Black Widow, but still kind of. I like that the movie leans into the fact that she is not John Wick. She's not God mode IDDQD, game over. He's just built different. Her trainer even tells her, and I believe that's in the trailer, where she says, you're always going to be smaller, you're always going to be weaker. So she has to use that to her advantage. She has to be a bit crafty. Not that John Wick wasn't crafty. John Wick used his environment as well. Pencils, books, whatever was around. But in this movie, Eve's her name, she has to fight like that to get the advantage. I like that. It's just a very realistic thing. Which is why I felt such contrast in the movie being like, hey, this is not John Wick. She's different, she's her own person. And then she gets a lecture when she was a little kid about how she can be, it's not Baba Yaga, it's a different boogeyman title, but it's still boogeyman. She even says like the boogeyman. I'm like, yes, you get your own boogeyman title. She doesn't get the title, it's just a lecture. But still, it's such a weird, out of place wink to the audience, like, member, like Baba Yaga. We're dealing with the John Wick universe here after all. It was lame, but brief, so we move on, but still. All that is to say, I thought Ana de Armas was really good in the movie. She has a great physicality to her. Writing was on the wall that she would be good at this, ever since No Time to Die, where we were like, okay, so a couple questions. One, why don't we have more of her in the Bond movie? And two, so she's gonna be in a John Wick movie, right? Because that's just where we should go from here. And missions, you get 1.5 missions or so before she's out there on her own. It was a bit GTA in that sense of, you have a mission, here you go, you're on the mission, it goes wrong, shootout happens. Which makes sense that it feels like GTA, given the world. Because Ballerina was delayed by a year also. So how is the action? The action's a blast, what can I say? Sometimes very literally. Every John Wick universe movie up until this point anyway has kind of had a weapon or action sequence that's the show stealer, the showstopper. In Ballerina, it's grenades and flamethrowers, baby. There's firepower and then there's power fire. This movie leans into that. It's an amazing sequence that does help the movie stand on its own. Also the grenades. Those grenade hits were amazing. Sometimes I gotta call bullshit. I don't go into a John Wick movie with a notepad and a pencil being like, okay, how are the physics in this one? It's not like that. There were more than a few hits where I just suspended disbelief, but it was so damn entertaining while watching it. One in particular though, I was like, you lost nothing from not even your ears aren't ringing, not even stunned. I thought you were at least gonna lose the top of your scalp, but okay. Let's shake that one off. Next. Yeah, the gunplay, the CQC, that's all fun too. I heard Chad Stahelski was brought in to help. Don't know what it means. So all that fun leads to a third act that I did feel jumped the shark a couple times. Because a third act might just have something they drop in the lap of the audience. I don't know that it was because it was obvious or the fact that they just did nothing with it. But I walked out of the movie being like, what was the point of that? As for the John Wick cameo, it's cool to see him, but I'm having trouble reconciling the continuity. That might very well be a me thing, I get it. The first cameo with John Wick, totally cool, totally fine, would have been enough. But John Wick being in the movie later, it's like I'm getting gridlocked, like, I can't find how that makes sense that he's here. The third act of this movie, as I understand it, should take place between John Wick Chapter 3 and 4, in which he's healing up with Lawrence Fishburne, and then 4 happens, and Lawrence Fishburne's like, "You ready to get back out there?" And Keanu delivers. In all the Keanu way. Yeah. But while he was resting up in between John Wick Chapters 3 and 4, he was like, "I have to go. This side quest needs me." Almost like he's here to be on the poster and in the trailer so people will buy tickets to the movie. John Wick is badass in the movie, no questions there. And again, they do use him to show the contrast between the two characters, how she is not John Wick. There is only one Baba Yaga and he is it. He's kind of like a video game boss when the boss has no life bar, which is its own kind of fear. Just structurally, you don't want a cameo character to eclipse your main star. You don't want the audience to walk out of the theater being like, "Wow, John Wick." Oh, that's right, and she was on her revenge thing too. But that is the risk you run when you have the Golden Goose cameo in the spinoffs. And John Wick isn't even in this movie for that long, but that does speak to how big a shadow he casts. How this movie does end, again, it felt very familiar. It felt like, it felt like Biff from Back to the Future 2.
Something very familiar about all this.
So Ana de Armas was great in the movie. The action sequences are fun. The lore building, or at the very least, you seeing a little more of the training, more of the missions before one goes off on their own. Cool stuff, but with John Wick, there's a beauty in the simplicity. For the more complicated elements, it felt like there was no payoff, so that does feel like they are overcomplicating it for no reason whatsoever. But I did still have myself a fun time in Ballerina, no alcohol required. Or From the World of John Wick, Ballerina. The title itself is overcomplicated. There's that. It's kind of off topic. Well, it's not off topic at all. I really like seeing Lance Reddick again, because this was filmed before he passed. And it's like I knew that until I forgot about that. Then I saw him. I was like, that's right. And it's sad, but it's nice. It's bittersweet. You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. All right, so Ballerina, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Are you looking forward to it? Or what's your favorite revenge tale? Probably asked you that 7 dozen times. Sounds like a pretty common question, but still, whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.